marvelous one. It's a holiday for some reason because the NFL just owns everything. But before we get to the Chicago Bears and their schedule, and we do the very cliche hack radio of win-loss, 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 somebody who won in both life, on and off the field, somebody who's just done it all, and there's no comparison to him besides maybe three people in the sports world. Tom Brady will be joining the Fox NFL booth, the number one team on Fox, when he is done in the NFL. Paul Chivari, Devin Tingle, and myself were able to talk about this. When the news actually broke, it was crazy, and I couldn't wait to get your thoughts. I knew you were brewing on this because you see the deal. You are one of the people that we go to when we start talking about these booths around the major sports. So you see this deal. You see how much money he's making, more than he ever made in his NFL career. Tom Brady joining the NFL Fox booth. Did you see this one coming? How upset is ESPN after all the months and money they spent on the Man in the Arena podcast? Did Jeff Bezos get jobbed out? We need to know your thoughts on all this.
Well, I'm not shocked that he would want to be an analyst when his days as playing are done. But the money's unbelievable. I mean, it's a 10-year, $375 million deal. So why play when you can, sit up in the booth and analyze? It's, and his analysis will be astute, obviously, and he's very articulate. So that's a good find for Fox. Obviously, they lost Aikman as their number one analyst along with Buck when they went over to ESPN. So they're looking for an analyst. Another guy that's apparently in the mix is Drew Brees, who left NBC now. So he might be in the mix, at least for the time being, for the next 10 years while Brady's still playing, to be an analyst with Fox. So those chairs are moving a lot of pieces in play because of the Michaels move to Amazon for Thursday night. Now Sunday, of course, Tirico's taking over as was always expected. So the analyst chairs are moving around, the play-by-play chairs. So Brady, the money's unbelievable, and I'm sure he'll do a great job. It's just that crazy money, like you say, more than you make as a player, and you don't get knocked to the turf and stepped on.
It's enough money to make a bid for an NFL team one day. It's enough money that after the 10 years in your bank accounts, when you're ready to help Robert Kraft or somebody else, it's a smart move on it by Fox and by Tom Brady. Look, it's like John Skipper said, we mentioned this in our conversation about this when the news broke. You can make sure, and if you follow us on Twitter at Sports Cubicle TV, it'll link you to the YouTube channel when anything like this happens. And it's something we mentioned. John Skipper, who used to run ESPN and now with Meadowlark, he mentions like they're not going to make money off Troy Aikman, Tony Romo, Tom Brady, but it legitimizes you. It's the reason why Monday Night Football had such a hard time, even if they had great games, to put it on that level. And that's what Tom Brady does. He doesn't have to be good at it, but for the first few years, the novelty of having the level of Michael Jordan and Muhammad Ali in the booth calling games right after playing in those games, that's why Romo was so special. And it's not a cowboy. It's the greatest of all time doing it. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic, and it'll be something we cover when it actually happens. But we needed to get the Marvelous One thoughts. More importantly, your thoughts on Twitter at Sports Cubicle TV. Tom Brady heading to Fox NFL's number one booth. Shout out to Greg Olsen. I hope he does a great enough job where they make it a 3-man booth. So we'll see how Kevin Burkhardt does with that.